everybody, and welcome to Cut from a Different Cloth. Now, I am your host, Danni Parker, and happy November. You know what? It's just something about November. I don't know if it's you or if it's just me, but like I get into extra grind mode. You feel me? Like I need to just get my plans solidified, my strategies in place and set for next year, the following year. Well, I mean the next year, because it's like, I'm not a New Year's Eve, like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, no, next year's plans are already set in November. Like that time I just feel like, oh, I gotta get on my grind. Like it's almost like the last full real month of this year. I gotta get on it. Like, what am I doing? What needs to be improved? Like something about this month, it's just like, I just love to grind. Like the grind just intensifies for me. I don't know if it's because it's my work anniversary or what. Now, also, I love Thanksgiving. It gives me time to spend with my family and my friends. Like my mother can finally cook because she always has to feel herself mentally preparing these days when I ask for a home-cooked meal. But Thanksgiving is the time where she'll actually throw down in the kitchen. So I'm definitely here for her home cooking. Now, last but definitely not least, it is also No Shave November month. Now, No Shave November month is where all the beards come out. And I've been seeing some lately, I'll be like, yes, for that beard, okay? But then some of them I'll be like, maybe we should just have a clean shave, buddy. Let's stick to the clean shave. Because some of them is patchy and stuff, but those beards, like, regardless if you're participating in No Shave November month, much respect to you, because I was doing some research on it and I saw that basically they donate the money that you spend, like men spend on like grooming products, shaving, all that stuff. Instead of buying that for this month, they donate it to cancer patients. Now, people who have lost their hair due to chemotherapy, all cases of cancer. So basically the money that they're donating it to on noshavenovember.org, it goes to like educating on cancer, basically helping with the advancement research of cancer, trying to always find a cure for cancer. But I respect these fellas. So if you see it, ladies, if you see a bearded man this month, give him a high five or a hug, like, because he's really doing something amazing. And also his beard probably is flourishing this month. So, ladies, get on your job to make sure it grows. You know what I'm saying? So, no, but you know what? Today we have the tea. Now, there's going to be a lot of tea going on like this week. I can't wait to spill it with y'all, because Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj, and it's just, Little Kim, the beef is just never ending. It's just never ending. And then we have Vivica said some stuff that made me go, all right, Vivica. Okay, she said something about 50 Cent that made me kind of tilt my head just a bit. Now, also, I have a few things, talking about Tyrese and stuff, the latest in his drama. But we're also going to talk about the real deal in the segment later on in the show about the recent shootings, because I have a lot to say about that. So right now we're going to get into a PSA, but we're going to talk more about that in y'all president and his responses on that. So we're going to get into a PSA, and your girl will definitely be right back.
Spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, everyone, to Cut from a Different Cloth. Of course, it's your girl, Danni P. Now, we're about to sip into some of this tea, because this week, it's been a lot going on. I'm just saying. So, First, I want to, before I start spilling, I want to give a huge congratulations to Chris Brown, because Heartbreak on a Full Moon, it definitely went #1 on the Billboard charts for hip hop and R&B albums. So shouts to Breezy. You know, I'm always here for his music. I still haven't heard all 45 tracks, but there's a few of them I'm like, all right, Chris, all right, okay. So it's just like, you know, I'm always here for his success, you know, because he's had a trying time, and I'm glad that he's just, you know, coming out with good music. Can't wait for him to go on tour eventually. Now, everyone, you know, Meek Mill, he's been in trouble with the law, like, recently, you know, so now a Philadelphia judge, let me restart. A Philadelphia judge, Meek had 2 charges, and it was they both were dropped, but one was assault, and I believe the other one was driving reckless. You know how he does the pop wheelies all through Philly and stuff like that. So the charges were dropped, but the judge wanted to give Meek a lesson, because it's like, yeah, you didn't go, like, you know, the charges, you got in trouble and stuff, but you're still violating your probation, you know, because it's basically like you're getting in trouble, but the charges aren't sticking. So now the judge gave him 2 to 4 years because he wants to set an example. And everyone is saying, free Meek, that's unjust, it's unfair, violation of probation, this, that, and the third. Now, there is some people who are speaking on the opposition, and one of those people happened to be Joe Budden. Now, Joe Budden was visiting this show called The Everyday Struggle, and basically, here's a clip of what he said in his response to Meek Mill and the whole topic of freeing Meek and his parole. So let's roll the tape.
So we can't continue to say that we have a problem with harsh judges and harsh sentencing if we as a people will do nothing about it. So I don't see anybody on Twitter, Black Twitter, Instagram, any of the little apps that people deem to be cool, young, networking, socializing apps talking about election day. But everybody's talking about Meek. So let's talk about Meek. I don't feel bad for Meek at all. I'm gonna give my mature, probably non-hip-hop response, and then I'll start with my hip-hop response. Yes, the system is bad. Yes, Meek is talented. I want to hear music from Meek. I am saddened that he is gone, especially for so long. All of that shit, I agree with everybody there. Now let's throw that to the side for a minute. Black man, system. They're watching you. I say that here all of the time. You argue with me, but, I mean, we have a debate. So we can't continue to say that we have a problem with harsh judges and harsh sentencing if we as a people will do nothing about it. So I don't see anybody on...
Exactly. Now, you guys just seen the Joe Budden clip. I see where he's coming from. You know, like, he's not bashing Meek, but it's kind of like, you know, they're watching you. You know, like, why would you put yourself in a predicament to get in trouble? Like, I see what the judge is saying, and I see how it's still unjust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. And Joe Budden, I wasn't opposed to what he said at all. I thought it was a really good answer. Like, you know, part of it, okay, for the culture, yeah, free Meek, free Meek. But should we really be condoning that? Like, he's still violating parole. Like, he's violating his probation. You know, like, because let's say you have your cousin. Your cousin goes to a 2 to 4 bid because he violated probation. And you be like, yup, you know, that's messed up. Wow, that's messed up. But everybody signing, the governor of Pennsylvania started a petition to have Meek free, to have his sentence shortened or overturned, because he feels like this is unjust, because he's done a lot, you know, for Philadelphia. And I get it, he did, but that's not an example because he's rich, because he's famous, because he brings, like, you know, revenue to the city. Like, if he's touring or something like that, or artists will come. Like, no, that's not fair to other people, everyday people who violate their probation and stuff, and they get sent up there too. So honestly, I don't think that's cool. But, you know, free Meek. You know, I'm never down for nobody serving the penal system. So I just hope everything works out in Meek's favor. But now we're gonna talk about Vivica Fox, because, you know, I was on Instagram and stuff, and I like watching other shows, you know, while at work. And I saw that she was on a Sister Circle TV, and she was basically saying, you know, she was talking about 50 Cent, you know, because she's in his 50 Central BET, like what 50 has going on with BET. She's a part of it now. So she went on air, and this is what she had to say that made me go, huh? What? So we're about to roll this clip on a part of her interview in regards to 50 Cent when dating him.
It was new, and it was, and I think that I was at a new part of my career as well too. And he was just so romantic and so kind. He's very old-fashioned, and I wish I knew now how to treat a man like that than what I knew then, because I thought when we were dating younger that he wanted a partner, and what he really wanted was to take care of me. And I didn't know that, so I was working hard trying to match him instead of letting him be the man and take care of me. He's very old-fashioned, he's very romantic, and he's like a big teddy bear. And see, I know that side of him, and he's very sweet and very kind and gives the best hugs.
So would you go back, Miss Fox?
Sure.
Oh.
But it would have to be a friendship, and that's where we are now.
Okay.
But I love that we're friends again, because when we fight harder than what we loved for a minute.
Right.
So, but you know, I ain't no punk. I'll tell you that much. Right. He was young, and it was new, and it was, and I think that I was at a new part of my.
Right. Because when they fight, they definitely fight. And I just find that funny. Maybe because I'm still young and I still have to go through the stages of love and stuff. But 50 Cent is petty. Sis, he is petty. He is petty. Like, the things that they said to one another on social media, it's like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? Like, I would never think she would say that would be an ex she would go back to. Like, I get, getting a bag together if y'all put it aside, like, depending on how big the bag is. But I would never imagine 50 Cent as an old-fashioned dater. Like, because there's a certain lifestyle that he has, especially coming in that time, especially that was his get rich or die trying days. And I wouldn't imagine what she said about him and who he had as his rap persona at that time. So her saying that, I was like, really? Okay. But her wanting to get back with him, but they had to be friends. I'm like, she missed 50. She Viv missed 50. I'm convinced, because there's no way, like, you're gonna say the things that 50 Cent said about her. You can't say that to me. I can be with you. Especially if you put that out on social media and say, whether it's true or not, I can't be with you, because I'm gonna feel like boo-boo the fool. But I'm glad they're in a better space, because sometimes, when we're young, we can't handle certain relationships. Maybe when we're older, it happens. But them, I don't know. Like, they weren't a bad couple to me. They weren't a bad couple. It's just when they fight, it's like, why would I want to be with you? Like, you saying some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to break it up. And then when we come back, we're definitely going to get into this Remy Ma and Lil' Kim teaming up against Nicki Minaj in this Wake Me Up track. So let's go to a PSA real quick, and then we're going to finish the rest of this tea.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
To cut from a different cloth, it's your girl, Danny P. Where am I gonna go? But no. So, okay, this week, Remy Ma and Lil' Kim, first of all, it's been a good week for Lil' Kim, because Queen Bee, she showed out, and if y'all haven't seen it, Beyonce, she paid homage to the original Queen Bee. There wouldn't be this Queen Bee, it wouldn't be her. And she did the reenactments of like 5 different Little Kim. I was like, okay then, B, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, she's giving me all life. Like how she was serving, doing the looks and stuff. I was like, yo, Kim was winning. And you know, I did peep shade because I have been looking and I have not seen Nicki Minaj liking Beyonce stuff. Now, Nicki always says, B's my friend. But you know, anyways, Remy and Kim, they teamed up for a track called Wake Me Up. And basically, it's coming for the queen because Nicki Minaj, she was on a recent track with Migos and Cardi B. And in her verse, you know, she said a cute little punchlines and stuff. So, you know, saying her crown can't fit on your whack lace front. And then, you know, Remy coming back. I've been hearing the diss track. And I'm like, at first I was like, you know, they shouldn't be beefing, you know, it's give it up. It's old Kim. Why y'all dragging Kim in it? And then Nicki, she doesn't care. And Remy, you know, she's just doing it as the promo for her album. But hearing a few parts that she said, I was like, oh, okay, then, you know, like, Remy said some lines where I was like, whoa, like, you already calling Nas Bae and stuff, you know, that's Bae, you know, their budding, you know, romance is good, you know, we're here for that. But it's just like, no, like, it's just a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Basically, the song is just like, really, like, Remy used a sample of Little Kim's Queen Bee, that song. So she used it to start her track, and she was just saying, you know, homie, don't play that and stuff. But this is the thing that I love Remy Ma, I really do. But honestly, her delivery is not the wave. It's not. It's if she could change her delivery up, her lyrics would be so enforced. Like what Remy says is potent, but it's just how she's giving it to us. I feel like it could be rapped better. And that's what Nicki has. Nicki has that, oh, okay, like she has a nice flow to her. Like you can vibe with Nicki. Even if Nicki has popcorn bubblegum lyrics, it's still like kind of like she gives it to us in a way where it's just, oh, okay, you know, it sounds like, oh, you can bounce your head to it. Remy, hers is just, it's just really gritty, and it's just like, okay, but it's now to kind of clean that up. We need to polish that. But other than that, the track, I had to listen to the track in the car, and when when I had to blast it, I was like, oh, okay, this is a good song. So, you know, I want to see, because both ladies are dropping albums supposedly this year or earlier next year. So I can't wait to see what both have to say, because it's going to be a lot of shade thrown, a lot of this, a lot of that, and I just can't wait to hear the music, because lately the music has been good. You know what I'm saying? It really has been very good. Now, before we go for what's the tea. Now, Tyrese. Okay. The latest in Tyrese, if you haven't been on social media, then you've been living under a rock. But I'm going to tell you anyway. So Tyrese goes on social media and says that Will and Jada, they both, you know, they gave him $5 million, but they told him to help out with the legal fees. In order to give you this $5 million, you stay off social media. You know, you stay off social media. This fool goes on social media and tells everybody that Will and Jada gave him $5 million to help out with legal fees. So that's what he's going to do. Now, I guess I heard, you know, the saying, closed mouths don't get fed, but then big mouths get reneged, because it's kind of like you really just talk too much. Like, that's not something you say. That's not something, if they gave you the money, it's like, that's not something that you say. That's not something that you just really do. We're not here for that. But basically, Tyrese, you know, now they're saying we never gave him the money, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, wow. He out here twerking on the gram and stuff. I'm like, what's going on? What is going on? So, you know, but that is enough for the tea today, because we got to get into the real deal. Now, honestly, everyone, okay, you know what's going on in the country. You know, we have the New York shooting and the Texas shooting, like both tragic events. You know, lives were lost. You know, people like had great injuries. Like it was crazy, you know. But I don't like how Danni is going about things. So with the New York shooting, because that was first, he says, you know, he's going off in a series of tweets because, you know, when he's mad, he just goes off on Twitter, and he's saying, you know, the NYC shooter, he needs to go down. We need to take him, take him to death. Death wouldn't even be good for him. Guantanamo Bay, we'll take him there. Like just really just going off, firing off tweets, right? You saw those tweets. Now, for the Texas shooting for Devin Kelly, he was a white male who was 26 years old, same age as me. And he basically, gun control wasn't the issue in this case because mental health was. Because he was mentally ill and he killed people. He killed 29 people. And I think he, it was 29 people and 20, I guess, injured. So he did more damage in this one than New York, who killed 8 people and I think injured 11. And Donald Trump was just going off, but you're saying, well, another gun killed that shooter, which is true because, you know, if he didn't kill him, there would probably been more people dead. But it's basically your fault. Basically, it's your fault, Danni, because you said mentally ill people can be able to buy guns. Now you're retracting that, saying, oh, well, it wasn't a gun control issue. He was mentally ill, so he shouldn't be able to buy guns then. But it's funny how he's mentally ill, but he was never once called a terrorist. But you call the NYC shooter a terrorist. Okay. He's mentally ill. Another mentally ill white man. No, he is a terrorist, and we're gonna call him that. We're gonna really call him that. Like he's a terrorist. It's no shade. It's all facts. He is a terrorist because you killed. It's all these white men can kill people and kill double-digit people. They're mentally ill. It's never a terrorist. Never that. It's no. It's just really, we can't just call them what they are. Everyone else but the white man is a terrorist. That's just what it is. Everyone else is terrorist. In this country, you do something, you're a terrorist. If you're a white man who does something in this country, you are not a terrorist. You are mentally ill. And that's what Donald Trump is saying. That's what the people's president is saying, because that's not my president. But that's what the people's president is saying. So, you know, if the people are saying that, then I can't help it. But it's just very funny to see these two shootings happen so close to each other, and for how he reacted. He didn't have the same momentum for New York that he did for Texas. He did not. And and people don't see that. People still say, oh, well, no, you gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. Because this man he condones racism. He condones racism, and you cannot tell me that he does not. You honestly can't. Because it's showing. Less people died in New York. More people died in Texas by a white man's hand, and he says that man is mentally ill. But gun control wasn't the issue. But it's just funny. But anything that man says, to me, it's a joke. It's comical at this point. You know, sometimes you gotta laugh at the pain. Even though it won't go away, you still gotta laugh at it. That's how he is. Just gotta laugh. Thank you for tuning in to Cut From a Different Cloth, episode 3. You know, we've gone through the tea, you know, with Remy Ma. What do you guys think? You know, honestly, I think they being shady, and at this point they shouldn't. You know, but your president, he's racist, and he'll probably stay racist. So there's not much to say on him. And yeah, you know, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my amazing staff. If it wasn't for them, the crew, they are amazing, and I am so glad that they pulled me through the show. And yes, thank you for tuning in to Cut From Different Cloth, and stay blessed.